just simply put, do you believe that a one-year suspension is fitting for these findings?
I think the NBA did the best that they can do. And when I say the best that they can do, I don't think that they got it right. I think $10 million is the most that you can suspend someone. When you look at the year-long suspension, and look, they're going to go back to the Mark Cuban slippery slope. Do I believe that Robert Sarver should be an owner or a governor in the NBA? My answer is no. I don't believe that, because it wasn't other places he was doing this. He was literally doing this inside of an NBA organization. He was insulting fans. He was insulting fans. He was insulting female employees. He was literally doing every single thing in an HR meeting that you do not do. And he was the head of this organization. So I don't believe that the NBA could do more than what they did, even putting it to a vote, because owners don't want all of their stuff exposed. If you have achieved billions of dollars and you own NBA teams, if people start digging in your closets, they might find stuff. So I think to get that 75% vote was going to be very difficult. So they looked at it and said, this is the most that we can do. And so to me, it all goes up to the players now. It all falls on the players and how the players want to handle this. If he decides that he doesn't want to step down and the players start doing what they did with Sterling, then I think you can have an issue where more likely he could be forced to sell.
Kendrick?
Yeah, but why? Here's my question, right? We talk about, I want to know is, why is it so hard for the owners to actually have to vote him out, talking about his peers, right? When you think about the whole situation, he was disrespectful to his organization. He was disrespectful to women. He was disrespectful to African Americans. He was disrespectful to the entire NBA family and organization, an NBA family that has been thriving in the right direction for us being role models, being, those front runners that are in the communication. So here's my thing, right? When I look at Robert Sarver with a slap on the wrist, a $10 million fine, and a one-year suspension, this is saying that it's okay. It's okay. You'll get off. You'll be able to come back. With being an owner, you're in place of power, right? And with power comes responsibility. And my thing is, he has a responsibility to make sure he treat everybody fairly, not to be shoot racial slurs out there, and he did just that. If you're a player in a worker in the Phoenix organization, there's no way that you want to come back to work and work with him being your team owner. I think Adam Silver will reevaluate this situation. I think it will go back to the drawing board. I think it will stir up the pot a little bit more. Players will start speaking out, and I don't see him actually being the owner in the near future. I think they will come to another some type of agreement or resolution of this problem, and I think he don't need to be an owner. Matter of fact, I know he should not be an owner of an NBA team, period.
Zach?
The stripes on the zebra never change.
Look, if the slope isn't slippery enough to get Robert Sarver out of the league after this, then it's just not slippery enough as it is right now. Let's review what's in the report. He said the N-word 5 times after being told in 2004 that even if you're repeating what another player said or purporting to according to his own recollections, which may not be reliable, that's not okay. 2004, 18 years ago. Then, here's just a partial list of stuff that he said or did around women and even male employees. Told a pregnant woman, you can't really have the same kind of career you're going to have because, your child needs a mother. We're going to have to take you off this event. Talked about sex acts. Talked about condoms. Talked about the size of his own penis. Made comments about the physical appearance of female staffers, including the Suns dancers. Significant other of a player and her alleged sexual proclivities around other employees. Dropped his pants and his underwear while a physical trainer was performing a fitness examination on him. And the report concluded that he did none of that out of racial or gender-based animus, that he had a sophomoric sense of humor, that he thrived on conflict, that he just sort of didn't read the room in the 2000s and his sort of juvenile sense of humor was out of touch. There was no animus. Ask the women who were told that their careers were at stake, that something was right or wrong with their bodies if they didn't feel that that came from a place of animus. The report is allowing Robert Sarver to hide behind a sophomoric sense of humor and letting him off easy because of his mindset or whatever. That conclusion is not correct. And frankly, I don't know what's going to happen now. I heard Richard say it's on the players. And the unfortunate thing is it shouldn't be on the players. It shouldn't be on the players now to act as employees, to protest, to not come to the Suns for whatever reason. It shouldn't be on the players who have only 30 places of employment in the NBA to choose from. I just look at that line in the report that there's no evidence that he acted out of racial or gender and how it affected the employees. That line is absurd. And so I don't know where you go from here, but I think that line is absurd.
Well, one other thing that I want to point out is that when we talk about the players, I know multiple former Phoenix Suns players, obviously from our job and what we do, and just different guys that I know. None of this surprised any of them. When the story came out from Baxter Holmes, it was like, oh, yeah, that sounds about right. Or I would hear stories before this. So there, in my opinion, there probably should have been more players speaking up, not just the employees. And I know that this included players, and I know there wasn't a ton of players that put their like names and ideas behind it. But I know that there were a ton of players that had experiences. These are just the things that show up in the report.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.